I'm here for triangles and strategy and things. So it's been 1 week now since this game came out, and is my chat not working? Once again, it's not working, but I guess it's nothing new at this point. Yeah, I really need to switch to something else, most likely. So I most likely have to do some other service for using alerts and chat and all that fun stuff. I'll figure that out at some point. So last time we wrapped up chapter 2? Question marks? And we got our cryomancer and stuff, and now we're in chapter 3. Oh, we did chapter 3 part 1, and now we have chapter 3 part 2. So audio leveling seem okay. I need to adjust my own volume, but the volume in OBS here, I can adjust to maybe here? Maybe? Maybe I can adjust it to like there? Or even here if I'm feeling spicy? Something like that? I don't know. I did start getting rather intrigued by this game the last time, with some of the directions that parts of the plot were going, and my goodness, the battle started getting really spicy. So we'll see if that trend continues here. What quick save data? I don't remember quick saving. This should be the beginning of a new chapter, so it's probably going to lead immediately into a cutscene, that or like world map and telling me to check out the next thing. I don't know.
His diplomatic visit as Lord of the House complete, Serenoa returns to the Wolfort domain. Safely within Glenbrook, Roland and Huette retire to Whitehome in the Crown City. Alas, there is no time for rest in House Wolfort, as Serenoa soon finds himself swept up in preparations for his wedding to Frederica. Dragan, meanwhile, presides over the blasting of a new tunnel at the Grand Norzellian mines.
Wait, I thought this was chapter 3 part 2. It just said on the... whatever. I'm done questioning things.
That should be the end of that bothersome bedrock. Investigate it at once.
Well, I pressed the auto mode button. I could have sworn... whatever.
What in the name of iron?
What is it? Do we require more explosives?
No,
Did you find
Lord
something
Dragan.
worth waging a war over?
Best come see for yourself.
What the? It couldn't be.
That settles the wedding program, then. We still must decide upon the wedding dress, however.
Not we, Benedict. Surely the lady herself must decide. What do you desire, Frederica?
Well...
Hadn't you mentioned wanting to dress in the Rosellan custom for the ceremony?
Then you'd best ask the Roselle about that. There's a Rosellan village here in the domain. I'm sure they'd make you a dress, if you asked.
But what of the other nations in attendance? Surely Hyzant would not look kindly upon it. Lord Simon, is it true that you assisted the Roselle who fled Hyzant during the war, and that you then granted them asylum here?
Aye, that is how the Roselle came to live within our domain.
It was a source of great tension, but in the end, Lord Simon's perseverance prevailed, and a group of Roselle found new homes here. To this day, the Holy State demands they be returned to Hyzant, citing their goddess's teachings as justification.
The roots of the conflict run deep. Nevertheless, it is our duty to protect those who we have sworn to take under our wing. Should you choose to dress in the Rosellan custom, we shall stand behind you every step of the way.
Is that so? Then I see not how I could refuse such a kindness.
I shall accompany you to the village. To tell the truth, I have never been there myself. It would be a good opportunity to get to know them, to strengthen our bonds.
As is your duty, my son.
Rosellan custom it is, then. Let us depart at once to make the request.
Aye, all of us. Ooh, I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Well, the Rosellan Village. The Rosellan Village coming up here. So, I guess we'll see what's going on there. So, I don't know if, it's so weird that ZR zoom out and ZL zoom in. Like, that bothers me so much. So, I don't know if it's the Rosellan Village in his domain for the first time in hopes that they will make his betrothed's wedding dress. Okie doke. But yeah, when it comes to, I am going to be very curious to see how the, religious aspect of this game develops. So we had the choice between going to Esfrost over here and going to Hyzant over here. I realized a little bit late that maybe I would have preferred going to Esfrost for like the area and seeing how that looks and such, but I actually got rather intrigued by Hyzant after we went there, and the exposition that it gave definitely seemed like very, very important information. So for a bit of a recap, what happened over here, as this is like the super duper ultra religious place that's just like, oh, well, we be your allies and help your people as long as they follow our religion. I see no reason why we shouldn't. Or the people escorting you being like, ah, yes, here, it's so peaceful here. Like, how can there be any strife here when nobody has any evil in their hearts because they all follow our religion? When, you know, the streets are being patrolled by a bazillion guards still, and we do see some people not exactly super in favor of the religion there. And it was also one that preached the idea of like equality. Everyone is equal under our religion. It's truly, everything is perfect, even though I think it was what was his name, our advisor, our tactician, saying like, can you really achieve true equality? But even while they preach equality, the Roselle, so aka those with pink hair like Frederica has, it never outright said it, but it seemed very much like the Roselle are kept as slaves in this place, used to dig up in the salt mines essentially. And it sounds like Frederica's mother escaped to Esfrost over here, had Frederica, and now Frederica's, you know, doing all the stuff here in Glenbrook and yada yada. So we never actually got to see any of the Roselle while we were down there, but it makes me very curious what the situation there is. Yeah, let's see here. The Turtle Pope does not bless this place, so the church has to be even. Follow the Turtle Pope. You love Elden Ring. I can't believe there's a Turtle Pope in Elden Ring. I'd follow the Turtle Pope. Turtle Pope's chill and cool and stuff. But yeah, so that's the state of the religion in this. So I feel like they're gonna be I don't know what Esfrost convictions are gonna be. This has got to spur into like a three-way war kind of thingamabob, right? This is gonna be like a Fire Emblem Three Houses kind of thingamabob. They're gonna do it for religious reasons and trying to spread their religion because they only see people as having any value if they follow their religion and they're not Roselle. Esfrost, I don't know what they're gonna want, and I assume that Glenbrook is just gonna be caught in the middle of things. I don't know. That's my predictions right now, at least. But hey, what do I know?
Greetings and welcome, Lord Serenoa and Lady Frederica.
Is that Ferdinand von Eyre?
My name is Jerome. I bid you welcome on behalf of the Roselle. And congratulations on your engagement, as well as assuming lordship of your house.
That's Ferdinand von Eyre!
Gratitude. We hope you will continue to lend your support to House Wolford.
You have my word. I owe your Lord Father a great debt. Though even were that not the case, you are engaged to one of our own in Lady Frederica. Few things could bring us more joy. We shall make the finest dress you have ever seen.
On that subject, I have one humble request. I would like to incorporate this pendant into the design.
The pendant you're never without.
'Tis one of a kind, left to me by my late mother. She was one of the Rosellan refugees who fled Hyzant during the war and found her way to Esfrost. In a twist of fate, she fell in love with the former Archduke, and thus was I born. In secret, of course. After I was born, she was sent back to Hyzant, where she met her end.
I see why it never leaves you. Pray fashion the dress in this pendant's image.
It shall be done, my lord. Let us delay no further. Lady Frederica, please step inside, that we may take your measurements.
Thank you kindly.
The measurements may take some time, Lord Serenoa. Perhaps you'd care to take a stroll and see the village while you wait.
I'd very much like that. Thank you.
Well, the music suddenly changed. Perhaps I'll have a look around the village and get to know its people while they're taking our measurements. Okay, well, we have I am Ferdinand von Eyre. This game just got 3,000 times better. Your hair certainly does make you stand out, my lord. We don't get many visitors to our fair village. We came to this land in the midst of the Sultan War, desperate to escape Hyzant's extraordinary cruelty. Your father then granted us asylum in our hour of need, shielding us from further harm. So he's voiced in a lot of thingamabobs. I really like his him as a voice actor, quite frankly. I would have done the same. We have a duty to help those in need. I pray the day soon comes when you no longer require protection and are free to live your lives unfettered. And I intend to honor that. Let us work together and make this land a prosperous one for your people. Yeah, let's do that one. How about? I cannot thank you enough for those kind words. May they be a beacon of hope for the generations to come. Hi! Hi! How are you doing? Hmm? Hey? Oh. What if I try to take your toy? Nope. Just come. Come here. Come here. Come here. She recently got this broccoli toy here. Recently, I mean earlier today. That's just you thought it was one of your cats. Jesse, come here. Jesse, come. We will do all in our power to make it so. Father granted the Roselle asylum on our lands. Though they once hailed from Hyzant, they are now as much a part of the Wolford domain as anyone else. Learned about the Roselle in the Wolford domain. Lord Simon, I don't even remember anymore, offered us his protection without a word about our origins or our troubled history. His generosity is boundless, and I fear we shall never repay it. Instead, I simply pray that our village remains protected. Hi! Give me the toy! Come here! Jesse, come! Come here. Ah, it's slimy. I bear a great responsibility to these people. It falls to me to keep their land free from harm no matter what the cost. Learn about Serenoa's duty, it says there. Yeah, so, it's not just a refugee village from the Sultan War, but these refugees here come from the, religious area where those with pink hair like this, the Roselle, sound like the religious people are keeping them as slaves, is what it sounds like. From what I gathered in the whole religious area there. Though we may be under House Wolforth's protection, we dare not leave the village. The goddess's faithful will haul us straight back to the source if they catch sight of us. Yeah, they're used to mine salt, essentially. Jesse? It's no fun staying in the village all the time. I want to go play somewhere else. Mother gets mad at me if I go too far. You'll be able to venture further afield when you're older. And when that day comes, I'll show you both around the domain myself. But there's plenty of fun to be had here. I'm sure our mother will be pleased if you took up hunting or fishing. That's because you're precious to her. Do well to heed her words. When you're older and whatnot. That's awful. That's why we need the Turtle Pope. Yeah, exactly. Well, really? I want to see all the big ships in the harbor. You have my word. We'll look at all the ships you like. Just do as your mother says for now. I will. I can't wait to grow up. Turtle Pope doesn't care about hearsay. He's so chill. He really is. I'm so glad I got to meet him in Elden Ring the other day. Speaking of like chill religions, I know I've mentioned it on stream before. I don't know if I ever mentioned it during the Bravely Default 2 playthrough. I know I've mentioned it during some here and there. I think probably my favorite religion is Dudism, which is a religion all about taking it easy and going with the flow. Practicing as little as possible, preaching non-preachiness. The bigger questions that need to be answered, whatever. Just take it easy, go with the flow. Just chill out, man. You know, that's Dudism right there. I love Dudism. We'll just be a bit longer taking Lady Frederica's measurements. Please have a look around the village in the meanwhile. Okay. Whoa. No. Hold on. I want to talk from here so that you have the high ground. We play together almost every day. Today we're climbing the ladder to the roof and playing lookouts. Can I climb the ladder? Oh, I can. Okay. Wait. But the movement in this game is kind of weird. This way. Aha! We've made our home here in the valley in the hopes we'd not be discovered. Use the lay of the land to our advantage, like. You know, I can already tell from the layout here that, you know, this is clearly gonna be like a battlefield with, you know, the differences in height and whatnot and way that you move your units around. So, and I'd bet you the ones that come here to do an attack are gonna be the religious folk. I'd bet you. Salmon. Didn't even see anything flashing there or anything like that. Must be strong and vigilant if we are to maintain the peace we have enjoyed on these lands. Okay. Oh, there's Dudo here. Sereno's convictions have been strengthened. I pray today's hunt goes well. I'd love to fetch a fine pelt for House Wolfort. Wow, thanks, man. That's real kind of you. But yeah, now that you mention it, you get slave hunter vibes. Is that you okay, Jesse? You okay? I just hear her coughing in the other room. Eh? Just being like historically, that kind of thing. Or if it's a specific media, you okay? I just heard her coughing in the other room there. Oh, I can go into the actual places here. I'm not familiar with that specific act. Maybe I was at one time. Maybe I just need a refresher, but hey? Hi. You doing okay? Well, she's not coughing anymore, so yeah, I can roughly gather what that is, judging from you know, it being compared to this here and you know, historical slavery and whatnot. Marvels of Norzelia Volume 10 to notes. Okay. Yeah, there was a history class that I took on slavery in the Americas, especially in like the colonies and whatnot. In the New World and such, and my goodness, some of the things that we learned in that class. Like, a simple class cannot properly put things into perspective. That's for certain there. But yeah, situated at the edge of the Hyzantian Desert, the Citadel of the Sands is the Holy State's first line of defense. It has been the site of countless battles throughout history, including the vicious border skirmishes of the Salt Iron War. Due to its importance, one of the Saintly Seven has always overseen its command. After the Salt Iron War, Minister Sorsley End assumed the position and began the work of developing the Citadel into a trading post. To think that a place that has witnessed so much bloodshed could transform into a peaceful hub of commerce. Life truly is full of surprises. Perhaps that is why, though Hyzant rarely gets visitors from other lands, here I often catch glimpses of people whose provenance I cannot discern. Or perhaps it is only in my imagination. Yeah, it's my goodness, some of the things historically, and even some of the things that still happen to this day, are absolutely atrocious. I don't know if there's a better way to put it into words. The Roselle share a portion of the forest bounty with House Wolfort each year, as thanks for their safekeeping. Their quality pelts and fresh fruit make for a significant portion of House Wolfort's capital. I am Ferdinand von Eyre, but I'm also eternally grateful to House Wolfort. We would not be alive today if not for your protection. As a steward of this village, I pray we can work together to ensure a lasting peace. I couldn't believe my eyes when the Roselle arrived in the domain during the Salt Iron War. Never seen anyone so downtrodden. So this Salt Iron War is like still, like, I don't know how long ago it was before the events of the game, but it clearly has to be like a relatively recent-ish thingamabob. Like, it seems like there's been peace for a little while, but, you know, with this still very underdeveloped refugee village and, you know, so many people that are just like, oh yeah, I remember where I was during the Salt Iron War and yada yada. It seems like it was a relatively recent thing, you know? It was a bit of my core seeing him thriving in peace times after all they went through. Yeah, we just gotta keep him safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. I regret to say this is my first time visiting the Rosellan village. I'm happy to see that they flourished under Lord Simon's protection these last 30 years. Okay, so there's our answer. 30 years ago, then. Is what it was. So there's been peace for about 30 years-ish, probably. I mean, no. I guess that didn't have to be right when the war ends. If they came here like 30 years ago, that would probably be in the middle of the war. So, sometime less than 30 years? It was sometime in the last 30 years. Is the point. Any other building to go into or anything? What? The camera in this game is so weird. So dang weird. And I hate how, like, up and down isn't inverted. Like, if I press up, it moves the camera like that, and then down is like this. I don't like how it's not inverted. And, which is funny, considering left and right is inverted, but up and down isn't inverted. It's so weird. So many of the inputs of this game are so weird. Yeah, that, yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. So, whoops. Yeah, let's go ahead and end exploration. Surely they'll have finished taking our measurements by now. I just imagine the SpongeBob narrator. Meanwhile.
Do you understand just how dangerous it is for a young prince to go gallivanting off on a whim?
Punish me if you will. But if I hadn't gone gallivanting, I never would have learned the state of things outside our own kingdom.
Oh? Well, if you are so interested in international affairs, then I have a fitting role for you to play. You will oversee the Grand Norzellian mines.
Father, it would be a privilege.
I fear that punishment would provoke no reflection, and so I would rather put your energies to work for the kingdom.
I shan't let you down, Father.
I am not blind to your feelings, my son. I understand that my methods vex you. Nevertheless, I ask that you stay out of harm's way, and give me no reason to worry.
Of course.
Mining is grueling, thankless work. Show the miners the appreciation they deserve.
I shall. You have my word.
The necessary provisions have been arranged, Your Highness. You are to deliver them to Dragan.
Father, may I bring rather, Lord Wolfort? It is his job to oversee the operation after all. And his closeness with Dragan may engender goodwill.
I know you trust him a great deal, Roland. But I would remind you that his betrothal now binds him to Esfrost. You would do well to be wary of any move he or his house might make.
So you share Franny's views on the matter. Nevertheless, Serenoa is a friend I could never hope to replace. A friend I trust no matter your opinion of him.
Concerning words, Your Highness, House Wolfort must be subject to the same scrutiny as any other.
Roland.
Bring these tidings to Gustadolf at once. Is that everyone? Good. I have important news for all of you. What you see before you is to be seized by the Duchy of Esfrost. You shall not speak of this beyond those in present company. Any who do will be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
Lord Dragan, are not the resources we mine destined to be shared among nations?
This matter is not up for debate. A discovery of this magnitude could reshape all of Norzelia. And so I ask this of you. Stand with me as I lead this great realm into a new era.
You risk much giving us these orders. I shall do exactly as you say.
I thank you. I have already sent the Archduke a letter informing him of our find. When I am appointed Prime Minister, I promise to reward you all handsomely for delivering me such a boon.
You are to be Prime Minister?
Or Ambassador to Glenbrook, perhaps. Time will tell. Either way, with this I shall make my mark. And do what neither Father nor Gustadolf ever could.
What news from Dragan, dear brother?
I never dreamt our hypothesis would prove true.
So you take him at his word?
I have no choice. The spy I sent to shadow him corroborates his report.
And? What are his demands?
He wishes to be named Prime Minister in exchange for secreting it away to Esfrost. Negotiations with Glenbrook are in the offing, should I refuse.
So he means to threaten you?
He is stronger than I believed him to be. Certainly what he has uncovered is worth the price he asks. What would you do, were you me?
Keep the secret safe, naturally. Did you not send a spy for this very reason? Surely expected this would happen.
I did, and they have been issued emergency orders.
Then leave the rest to me. I shall depart at once.
How fortunate I am to have a brother who knows me so well. Ah, Dragan, you will rue the day you dared place Glenbrook beside me on the scales of your feeble judgment. I hand down the orders. Yield or be crushed beneath my heel.
Okay, well, it's seeming kind of like S-Frost here found something spicy. That Dragan has his own motives, and Mr. Head Honcho over there very much sees himself as above nations like Glenbrook. Well then, what have we here? Roland comes to the Roselle village bearing a proposal for Serenoa. Okay.
The dress measurements are finished at last. I applaud your patience.
Is it exactly as you hoped?
It is indeed. I can hardly wait to see it finished.
I am glad to hear it.
There you are.
Prince Roland. And Huette besides. What brings you here?
We were looking for you.
We inquired around Castle Wolfort and heard you all had come here.
Has something happened?
Father has asked me to keep watch over the mines. Won't you join me?
You scarcely need ask, of course.
A wise course of action, seeing as you will be overseeing the mining operations.
And we can present Dragan with the gifts we procured abroad.
A fine opportunity to get to know the man better. He is quite talented, is he not?
He is a man with grand visions for the future, that much is certain. I shall tell you more of him along the way.
Then let us waste not one moment more. To the mines!
I'll have the dress ready in time for the ceremony, my lord.
You have my thanks, Jerome.
Serenoa and Frederica journey to the Rosellan village so she may be fitted for her wedding gown. The young lord gains an unexpected moment of quietude while he waits. However, Roland soon arrives with orders from King Regna to inspect the Grand Norzellian mines, where Dragan has made great progress.
Alright, the Grand Norzellian Mines. Well, House Wolfort pays a visit to the Grand Norzellian Mines where they are reunited with Dragan, who is definitely going to want to be covering up whatever it is he found down there. Whatever super secrets there may be.